The 10 big horror movies releasing in 2026. Before DC's Clayface, James Gunn's new DCU will be adding a pure horror project to its library in 2026, titled Clayface. The film is set to be under the body horror subgenre and will explore an actor with a disfigured face whose entire body is turned into clay. According to Gunn, the movie will not shy away from classic horror elements, which implies that it will be truly scary and that it could stand up against any other horror release in 2026. Clayface is set to be released in the back half of 2026. Supergirl will come out before it in the DCU timeline, and to give some time for that movie, which will be released in June, to breathe, Clayface won't hit theaters until September 11th, 2026. While Clayface's late 2026 release will allow anticipation to build throughout the year, that also means that 2026 other major horror movies will be coming out before it, and that they have an opportunity to set either a low or high bar for the DCU's third live-action film. Sam Raimi made his name in the horror genre, and in filmmaking in general, when he created The Evil Dead in the 1980s. Since then, he has become a prolific horror mastermind and will be returning to the genre with Send Help, which will debut in theaters on January 30th, 2026. Starring Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien, the upcoming horror flick will follow two colleagues who survive a plane crash, exploring their relationship as they attempt to survive. It is supposed to sprinkle in some dark comedy, so the mix of genres with a star-studded cast and Raimi at the helm is enough to get any adrenaline junkie to buy a ticket. Releasing on the same day as Send Help, a horror adaptation titled Iron Lung will be coming to theaters and will follow the same storyline as a 2022 video game of the same name. Iron Lung will be directed by Mark Fishbach, better known as Markiplier, and it will serve as the internet personality's directorial debut. The premise of the movie is that a post-apocalyptic event has caused every known star and planet to disappear, leaving the main character to explore an ocean of blood on a moon. Seeing as how the film will be directed and produced by Fishbach, and will star him in the leading role, many will likely be curious to see the final product. When the original Strangers movie was released in the 2000s, it genuinely terrified audiences everywhere, largely due to the movie's most iconic line, implying that no one was ever safe from a psychopath breaking into their home and killing them. A new Strangers franchise starring Madeline Petch began in 2024, with a sequel following in 2025. The third installment of the new universe will be released on February 6, 2026, and will continue where Chapter 2 left off. Even if the previous Strangers movies weren't as well received by audiences, they still provide a good dose of horror, and anything with the Stranger's name attached to it is worth checking out. Psycho Killer sees Scream Queen Georgina Campbell, known for Barbarian and The Watchers, in the main role, playing a detective tracking down a sadistic serial killer, James Preston Rogers, whose depravity seemingly has no bounds. The long-gestating project has been in the works since 2007, with a script from C7 and writer Andrew Kevin Walker. Multiple creatives have been attached to the film over the years, but director Gavin Pone will finally bring the project to life when the film releases on February 20th, 2026. The seventh installment of the Scream franchise is scheduled for release on February 27, 2026. Scream is undoubtedly one of the biggest and most popular horror universes ever created, and Scream 7 will be going back to its roots, as it is expected to include most of the main cast members from the original film. That means Neve Campbell will return as Sidney Prescott, and fans will get to see Courtney Cox as Gale Weathers. However, the most exciting part is that, for the first time since 1996, Matthew Lillard will be reprising his role as Stu Matcher. Stu is arguably the most compelling and well-loved Ghostface in the franchise, so all the stops are being pulled out for Scream 7. Zazie Beetz leads They Will Kill You, a horror comedy movie produced Andy and Barbara Muschietti of IT fame. The recent trailer revealed that the film will follow Beetz as a woman applying for a job as a housekeeper, only to find that she will have to survive the night against a killer cult. The new footage was filled with creative kills, stylish cinematography, and plenty of fun gags, which should all delight audiences when the film premieres on March 27, 2026. Ready or Not was released in 2019, and finally, 7 years later, the sequel will be coming to theaters on April 10th, 2026. Ready or Not 2. Here I Come will bring Samara Weaving back in the leading role as Grace McCauley, but this time she will be joined by other A-listers such as Katherine Newton, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and Elijah Wood. In the sequel, Grace will find herself at the center of yet another brutal game, but this time there is a twist. Instead of only trying to protect herself, she will also be shielding her younger sister, Faith, Katherine Newton. The original Ready or Not was generally liked by audiences, And, since Ready or Not 2 will follow a similar premise with another massive cast, fans have a lot to